Nathan's work is, it's complex.
This is a man who is really rather unassuming.
He had a vision for what photography could be.
His work is part of a continuing dialogue that is over 50 years old. I think Nathan recognized that photography is a visual language. He really understood the power of that as a poet would understand the power of words.
A particular body of work of Nathan's that I go back to is from the book After 9/11. They're non-judgmental. They are basically observational and let you kind of make your own judgments about how we as a nation reacted to those terrible events.
Prior to being a small format street photographer, he had actually been a view camera photographer and made very beautiful abstract pictures, not at all like what we think of Nathan now. And that book, Notations in Passing, just bowled me over.
I think Notations in Passing really became a kind of seminal work for me at understanding something new about photography, that there was a story to be told, and the story was in the narrative of the pictures.
Many artists found their start with Nathan. I never took a class with Nathan, but funny enough, I think I was a student.
He created a visual studies workshop, which was a very innovative place to be. He understood that education was a key component.
I went to the Visual Studies Workshop, which is the institution that he founded in, I think, 1969 is when he founded it. I went there in 1974, so he was my teacher. I had the sense that they were doing something really important in Rochester, and I wanted to find out about it.
He sought out people who would expand the medium, and he was interested in all the kinds of relationships photography had to different fields, to different processes of printing and bookmaking, design itself. The Visual Studies Workshop was one of the first places to study experimental video.
He helped me find my own vision, and I think he does that for all of his students.
As a curator, we're talking about a whole nother career.
When you look at his curatorial work, he's less in his head and more in his eye, I think. I mean, I think it has much more to do with an emotional response and an intuitive response to photography than an intellectual response.
His photographs of graffiti and the way he approached graffiti have basically influenced the way I look at the world, and in fact have influenced several exhibitions that I've done outside of photography on graffiti in the last 6 or 7 years.
He has, for more than 50 years, had an enormous impact on artists, on critics, like myself, on our way of understanding our world and our world in pictures and through pictures.
There are a few people that I can think of within the history of this medium that have contributed more to it than Nathan. Really, he was a confidant and a mentor to me. He was a giant in the field.
You know, he was a totally unaloof, accessible person. If you had something interesting, you wanted to show him a body of work, he would look, you know. That's a lot to say. He was a good man.